Welcome to Unit 3, the importance of making mistakes. Let's start this unit with a little quiz about people who have been failures at what they were trying to accomplish, often labeled by society as losers, and people who have been successful at what they were trying to accomplish, often labeled by society as winners. Person A made well over 1,000 attempts at inventing the electric light bulb. Person B was the actual inventor of the light bulb. Who do you think the winner was here? In example 2, Person A became the 16th President of the United States. Person B had 2 unsuccessful businesses and lost 8 different elections. Who do you think the winner is here? Example number 3. A, the actual inventor of the now famous Dyson vacuum cleaner, or B, the person who made well over 5,000 prototypes while trying to create a new kind of vacuum cleaner. Who do you think the winner was in this pair? And finally, example 4. A basketball player who missed 9,000 plus shots or lost 300 plus games? Or B, a basketball player who was MVP 6 times and won 6 championships? It turns out that in each example, the loser or unsuccessful person and the winner or successful person are actually the same person. Let's take a look at those pairs again. Who do you think is example A? If you had Thomas Edison, you guessed right. And who do you think is represented in the second pair? That's Abraham Lincoln. And in the third pair, James Dyson. And I bet you all know who's represented by this. Right, it's Michael Jordan. Let's watch a video about some famous people who have failed.
After being cut from his high school basketball team, he went home, locked himself in his room, and cried. He wasn't able to speak until he was almost 4 years old, and his teachers said he would never amount to much. Was demoted from her job as a news anchor because she wasn't fit for television. Fired from a newspaper for lacking imagination and having no original ideas. At age 11, he was cut from his team after being diagnosed with a growth hormone deficiency, which made him smaller in stature than most kids his age. At 30 years old, he was left devastated and depressed after being unceremoniously removed from the company he started. A high school dropout whose personal struggles with drugs and poverty culminated in an unsuccessful suicide attempt. A teacher told him he was too stupid to learn anything, and that he should go into a field where he might succeed by virtue of his pleasant personality. Rejected by Decca Recording Studios, who said, "We don't like their sound. They have no future in show business." His first book was rejected by 27 publishers. His fiancée died, failed in business, had a nervous breakdown, and was defeated in 8 elections. If you've never failed, you've never tried anything new.
Michael Jordan, Albert Einstein, Oprah Winfrey, Walt Disney, Lionel Messi, Steve Jobs, Eminem, Thomas Edison, the Beatles, Dr. Seuss, and Abraham Lincoln. These are all people who went on to do great things despite their failures. The video ends with the quote, "If you've never failed, you've never tried anything new." What do you think this means? Remember, learning something new should be hard. If you're not working hard, you're not learning. Think of riding a bicycle. Now, it's probably very easy for you and you don't even think about it. But try to remember what it was like when you were first learning. Not so easy then, was it? Have you ever watched a baby learn to walk? There's a lot of falling down and a lot of holding on to things. But do you even think about walking now? You see, failure leads to success, and losers become winners. But when people think with a fixed mindset, they tend to use labels to explain everything. All they look at is the outcome. People with a growth mindset tend not to label every attempt because they focus on the process. Remember, it takes time. Time that is full of mistakes and failures to make all of the necessary connections we need to finally understand something. With a growth mindset, we understand that failure is necessary and a pathway to success, and that with grit we can stick to our goal through all of the challenging times. Failure and mistakes are a normal part of the process towards success. These unsuccessful attempts build new connections in our brain and strengthen existing ones, so we learn a little more from each one. Struggling with schoolwork, getting wrong answers, and not understanding concepts is a natural process. It strengthens our brain so we can learn. Let's watch another short video.
I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed.
I failed over and over and over again in my life, and that's why I succeed. What do you think Michael Jordan means when he says this? Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. His family and friends thought that his brother was the one that was going to be a basketball star. Jordan would wake up early in the morning to practice before school and would always stay late after practice. What kind of a mindset do you think Michael Jordan has? And why? I think we all probably guessed that Michael Jordan had a growth mindset. And if you said something like, he didn't believe that he would never be a basketball star, he believed that with practice he could get better and get good enough to be one, then you're on the right track. Once, after missing a crucial free throw at the buzzer, he stayed after the game and shot free throws for 6 hours. Do you think Michael Jordan has grit? Why? He had the resilience to not be defeated by his failure and the perseverance to practice free throws for a long time. Let's do a quick review of everything you've learned in all 3 units. Are you ready? A growth mindset is the belief that your basic qualities and abilities, like intelligence, personal characteristics, and talent, are things that you can fundamentally change and improve. Through effort, the right strategies, and getting help from others, you can achieve more than you ever thought you could. Remember that the idea is to put in the effort, add the right strategies, and look to get help from others, because it is when you put all 3 of these together that you are on your way to learning and success. Remember that mindset matters. Now, you understand that your brain grows bigger and stronger by forming more, faster, and stronger connections between the brain cells. You understand these connections grow through effort, practice, and the use of good strategies, and that this process is what we call learning. You also understand that you can improve your intelligence, physical ability, and talent, and personality. Do you remember the 4 important things your brain needs so that it can function at tip-top capacity? First of all, your brain needs fuel, such as healthy foods with omega-3s like eggs, nuts, and fish. Your brain needs to recharge for at least a third of your day. You need 8 to 9 hours of sleep each night. If your brain doesn't get enough rest, you can forget things more easily. Movement and exercise increase breathing and heart rate, so more blood flows to your brain. A recent study found that walking actually can improve memory. And if you don't use your brain cells, you'll lose them. Research shows that the more you challenge your brain, the more connections you grow between the cells. And we know the more connections between the cells, the smarter you become. So, what does all this mean for successful learning? Your memory doesn't work as well when your brain doesn't have enough energy or rest. When you get moving, you get more blood flowing to your brain and actually increase your memory. And even though school is hard, the more you challenge your brain, the better it gets at making connections and building new pathways. All of this leads to you being a smarter, more successful student. If you just cram for a test the night before and you only study the material at the last minute, why is your brain likely to forget the knowledge when the test is over? If you answered something like, your brain didn't get enough rest and you didn't practice very much, then you're on the right track. Now, let's take a look at grit. Remember, grit is the combination of persistence and resilience. Persistence is that thing that keeps you trying even when you face challenges. It helps you to stay focused on the challenge without allowing yourself to get distracted. And resilience is when you show toughness. You get knocked down by a challenge and you bounce back up and keep trying anyway. Challenges are difficult, and it usually doesn't feel good to struggle. It takes grit to stick with the challenges you face, but it's important that you do keep with it. Even when the obstacles knock you down or you lose your focus, grit can help you bounce back and keep trying. When you're not challenged because your schoolwork is too easy, you're not really learning anything. Learning comes from being challenged, trying and failing, and learning from our mistakes. You show your grit when you keep trying. School is all about learning. Learning is all about facing our challenges, and challenges are usually hard work. When you show grit, you turn a challenge into new learning, and you turn a former challenge into your newest ability or skill. Remember, it takes time to learn, and quitting makes you stop before the learning takes place. Grit can help you keep going because you know that as long as you keep trying, you can eventually learn anything. The purpose of all you've learned in these units and lessons is for you to become increasingly more motivated to learn in the classroom, in school, and in your life. Your growth mindset and grit will help you to sustain the necessary effort, put in the needed practice, and study. And listen to your teachers and others so you'll develop the knowledge and strategies for success. Remember, there are many students that you know who still look at learning with a fixed mindset. They give up easily in the face of challenges and setbacks because they don't understand the importance of showing grit. And they don't have the benefit of knowing that their brain can grow, it can get stronger, and that they can become smarter and learn new things. I challenge you to tell them about what you've learned so that they too can be more motivated inside and outside the classroom. Will you do that?